Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Today is going to be part 2 of our little honey series. This one is going to be on some of the health benefits of honey. And remember, as with anything, even prescription medication, results are going to vary depending on each individual person's immune system and just how it works in their own personal body. So these are some that I've found in some of my books. Of course, I'm sure there are many others out there, but this was some of the more common ones and a little bit more interesting information about honey. So this is part 2. Nature has the most inexpensive and non-toxic healing agent on earth. Nature's pharmacy can actually prevent and reverse most ailments. And it always reminds me when I read something about how nature can actually heal you. Many prescription medications can actually cause other problems, and in the pharmaceutical world, lots of times they give you medications to just relieve your symptoms. There are cases where there are still some really good doctors out there that try to prescribe people stuff to try to help them in the way of healing their body. But most oftentimes it's not in a way that it's meant to heal the person. Generally what happens is the medication relieves their pain, and their body actually, if it can, heals its own self. So just a little side note there. Nature's sweetest food is honey from bees. I don't know if it is the absolute sweetest, but that was what was stated in one of my books. Good health has to be earned with trusting hand and hands. Let me reread that. Good health has to be earned by trusting hand and hand with nature. So, trusting nature, trusting what God has given us. Pretty much everything from the earth comes from the Lord, which absolutely everything does. And if we do a little research on it, we can find natural ways to heal ourselves. And these are some important little footnotes, some major components. If your body isn't performing well, check these major components: your diet, your exercise, your attitude, and your exposure to toxins. All of those are extremely important, especially now more than ever with everything that we're learning about what is in our food. That's why it is so important to try to grow as much food as you possibly can and stay away from processed foods as much as you can. And your exercise. Our bodies were made to exercise, to move around, to do things. Lots of us have gotten kind of lazy to all of the conveniences that we have in our modern world, and we don't exercise near as much as people before us used to exercise. And your attitude. Your attitude has a lot to do with a lot of things, but we won't go there today. Lord knows I can have an attitude, and I've worked on that for almost my whole entire life. And thank God it is better than it used to be when I was young. As with most everyone, you live and you learn. Most people mature as they grow older. But your attitude about life in general, your health, your pretty much everything sets the tone for everything else in your life. Is a lot to do with your attitude and your exposure to toxins. There are some toxins that we can have no control over, but then there are other toxins and substance such as addictions that people have can add extra toxins to our body. But as far as the air we breathe, what we believe is being done with the chemtrails, car exhaust, industries, factories, all the exhaust, all the chemicals let off into the air, we can't really do much about that, but if you live further out in the country, you're going to have less of that toxins released into the air, and also by what we put into our bodies. Try to eat as pure and natural as we can. And honey is one of those things. It's one of those superfoods. It's pure and natural. All of these influence how you feel, how often you get sick, how you feel about life, and how long you will live a healthy life naturally. Now, freak things happen and people get killed in accidents and stuff, but the healthier you are, the more you're going to live a better life and you're going to feel better. I mean, me personally, my husband already knows if I get to a point when I'm older and all I can do is lay in a bed, to me that's not living life. Now, my idea of that may change when I get older, but it's not something that we're either one interested in. So if we're not healthy and doing what we love to do, it just seems pretty pointless to just be stuck and be a vegetable in bed, especially if you just got to that point because you refuse to take care of yourself. Now, if you were doing everything you're supposed to do and then there was a sudden accident and something like that happened and you were still young, that would be different. But anyway, that's just my take on it, my personal opinion on it. Because I would just be miserable if that's all I could do is lay in bed every day, and I did something to myself to put myself in that situation, and I didn't listen to the warning signs that were in front of me. So here's a little quote from Thomas Edison. "The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will involve the patient in the proper use of food, fresh air, and exercise." I wish I would have been able to find the date when Thomas Edison wrote this, because I believe now more than ever this quote is so true. The food we eat, having fresh air, and exercising daily. God promises to provide what we need. Read Philippians 4:19 and Matthew 6:31 through 32. He created the universe and gives food to every living thing. The same God will promise food for the animals, will not allow us to go without. Psalms 145:15 through 16. Also Luke 12:24 and 24 through 26. So these are some things that, some of the health benefits, some of the good stuff that you can get by involving honey in your diet, and we'll go more into the specifics on how to use some of these for remedies for different elements, different health issues, but today we're just going to focus on some of the things that honey can help you with. Relieves acid indigestion, relieves upset stomach, and also can promote bowel movements. Treatment for ulcers, wound healer, wound burn healer, and also heals burn wounds faster than with other types of medication by using honey. Honey applied topically to surgical areas heals faster and scars less. Aids in weight loss, detox the liver, antiseptic. It's an antiseptic, antibody, antioxidant, antimicro, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, antibacterial agents. Lots of good stuff with just honey. It can be used to treat common colds and allergies. Now, with the common colds and allergies, it is very important that you get bees that are local from your area, that is raw, unprocessed honey. If you get honey from another state or another 100 miles away, it's probably not going to work as good on you with your allergies, because we have different pollens in different areas, and the pollen is what actually gives a lot of people allergies. But if you get it from your area and you take it as a treatment for a cold or allergies, you're going to have better benefits. It helps improve your sleep. It has a calming effect if you suffer from anxiety or depression. Honey increases testosterone in men health. Honey improves reproductive health, reduces mood swings, and improves hormonal balance in women. It's great for keeping the skin looking younger. It retards wrinkles, repairs, and prevents skin damage. It's a natural skin tightener, so it helps with cellulitis and wrinkles and stuff along those lines. Honey is also good for your hair. It helps to restore. If you have dry, frizzy hair, it helps it to become shinier. It's also because the honey seals in the moisture to prevent dry and brittle hair. It kind of coats each individual hair, and then therefore making it healthier and stronger and revitalizing it. It's also said to promote hair growth. Now, I haven't found a lot of information on that, but it was stated in one of my books. So it may be something to that too, because if your hair isn't as brittle and frizzy and all that and break easy, maybe it appears, or maybe it even does, regrow your hair, but I'm sure it's going to look healthier either way. Prevents and treats acne and eczema. Also, I know my grandmother had some problems with cataracts, and it was the same thing. She had to have a native honey to our area, and I'm not sure the exact way she used it, but she used it like the raw honey, a drop in each eye. So don't quote me on this, and don't try it without doing your research. But anyway, she had got some raw honey native to our area that I've got from a local bee farm, and used it in her eyes for a treatment session. I don't remember how long it was, but to help treat cataracts. So y'all can do research on that. So there's y'all some little homework, and see if that's something that might could help you too, for those that may have cataracts. Honey acts as a probiotic. I also came across a really good read online about honey health. Very good information, more in depth, goes way deeper than what I'm touching on here, and it kind of covers a whole lot of information on honey. And the website was it was published in 7/28/22, which that's my sister's birthday, by the way, July 28. But anyway, it was called Frontiers in Nutrition and Nutritional Library of Medicine. So I don't know if y'all want to look that up or not, but it had way in depth. It was a way long read, but it was a lot of in-depth information broke down to the every single vitamin, calorie, mineral, you name it. It had all of that information in there, along with many of the health benefits, which I did not list those because it was just way deeper. I just want to touch on the basic things that I personally know that it helps with, and share some of that. So next week we're going to be doing a part 3 on honey, home remedies with honey, and using other natural ingredients with honey. So we'll go more into how to make some of these health benefits come real to life by sharing some of the recipes and remedies and things that you can do with honey, and how to use it for sleep, how to use it for indigestion, how to apply it to wounds, wound care, how to make like the honey tea to help you with common colds, and then other ingredients that you mix in with it that makes it become extremely powerful and very beneficial to your health. And it's all natural, so to me that's a plus. And with honey, unless you are a person that is allergic to honey, there are some that are, which is a shame, because honey has absolutely no side effects whatsoever to most people. And I just remembered this one, that honey also is good for, and I hope I'm not jumping the gun for some of the other studies later, but it's also good for regulating your blood sugar. I know some people think honey would make my sugar go crazy, but it actually acts different in your body and helps to metabolize it better, and it also gives you a little bit of a boost because it gives you a little bit of energy. And I know sometimes diabetic, they want to grab that sweet sugary donut just to give them a boost. But if you try a spoonful of honey instead, it's not gonna give you the same health problems or add to your diabetes. It's actually going to help it because it's going to help regulate your diabetes better if you use honey instead of something sugary and sweet. So next week, part 3. I hope to see y'all back then. I think I'm going to keep doing these on Monday, and I think I'm going to have 5 or 6 parts to the honey for information on honey. But that's all for today. I just want to go over all of those things that honey is good for. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Staying warm, staying dry. This is winter time. My prayers and thoughts are for those up north that's dealing with all the icy, snow, cold weather. We're going to have our little share of it too here, but nowhere near as the magnitude as they are having up north. But I also know those are some pretty rugged people, and most of them are completely prepared and ready. But still, I pray for anyone, because sometimes it still can make us a little uncomfortable and grumpy, and people's anxiety and nerves is maxed out because, you know, people are stressed over the weather. But, you know, it's all in God's hand. We have to just leave it in God's hands, and He will help us get through any kind of storm that we have and all of the storms of life. So thanks for joining me today, and thanks for all of my subscribers. I know my videos are kind of here and there and all over. I have a personal standard of routine that I like to try to keep, but not always possible due to how my health is and how I'm feeling that day. But I promise you, I'm doing my best to put out some really good content. So hang in there with me, and thanks for those that have, and thanks for all the wonderful friendly comments. I appreciate every one of them and try to respond one way or another. And as always, if you have any more questions, feel free to email me. I always try to remember to post it in the description. And if I do forget, just go back and check another video. It's probably there. So farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.